Welcome again. In this video, we will learn about functions. Up till now, we know many things like variables, type conversions, we know how we can create lists, indexing, slicing, negative indexing, and we also know how we can manipulate lists, how we can add, modify, or delete elements from a list. In this video, we will learn about built-in functions which are already defined functions. Really interesting. Come, let's learn together. What are built-in functions? If I talk about functions simply, a function is a block of organized, reusable code that is used to perform a single related action. We call function instead of writing code. So you can see here there are two types of functions here. First one is user-defined function, another is built-in function. Right? So built-in functions are we already have in our interpreter. We already have those functions in our libraries, or we can say these are built in. We need not to define them, right? On the other hand, we have user defined functions. So if I start with div mode, now you can see here div mode is a function that returns the quotient and remainder of a division operation. So we divide something, we have given here div mode. Within this function we have given here 10 divided by 3. So we are dividing 10 with 3, and quotient and remainder is equals div mode. And if I print quotient is this and remainder is this, this is going to give us answer. Quotient is 3 and remainder is 1. It's simple. So another function is pow that returns the result of a number raised to a power. For example, 2, 3 enclosed within the parenthesis of pow function or we can say power function means 2 raised to the power 3. That means 8. So round function returns a number rounded to a specified number to decimal places. So here we can round 3.14. Simply we are using the round function, and within the parenthesis we are putting the value of the pi, that is 3.14, and it is rounding off to 3. And here in this case, now you can see here 3.1428. This is the actual value of pi. 3.14285714 and so on. This thing, if I round this value having so many digits after the decimal point, if I round off to 4 digits, like it means after the comma I'm specifying how many numbers after the decimal point you want. So here I'm specifying I want 4 numbers, 4 digits. Now in this case it is returning me 3.1429. So it is rounding off to 8 because the next digit is 5. So that is why it is rounding off to 1429. In this case, this is the round function. Sum function returns the sum of a sequence of numbers. Now we are calculating the sum of the list. In this case, what it will do is it will sum up all the elements individually in the list, and the answer is 15 in this case, right? So in this case we have a tuple. This is tuple and the next element is 10. In this case all the elements of tuple will add up to 15, comma 10. In this case it will add up 10 as well, so that's why the result is 25 in this case. This was sum function. Now max. It returns the largest item in a sequence or the largest of 2 or more arguments. So you can see here max function of, if in the parenthesis of this method max, here we are passing this function we are passing, and in this case maximum is 5, right? So here we can also pass number of elements as an argument, any number of elements in the argument list of the max function. Now see, here it was a list as one argument, it just noted which one is the maximum element, it pointed out the 5. And in this case we have number of arguments to the function max. Argument is nothing but whatever is in the parenthesis of the function name, right? So in this case maximum is 5 again. So min is similar to max. It returns the smallest item in a sequence or the smallest of 2 or more arguments. Now you can see here min of these elements of a list is 1, and min of all these arguments, here we can say 5 arguments are passed to the min function, and in this case minimum is 1. So int function converts a number or a string representation of a number to an integer. So int function basically converts anything to integer. So here we are passing a floating value. Here this is float value, and int method is simply converting it to integer. So here this is string. Here we are passing a string, and int method is converting a string to integer as well. So float is again a type conversion method that converts a number or a string representation of a number to float. So here we have integer, we are passing integer within the parenthesis of float function. Here it is converting integer to float by appending dot and 0, by converting it to floating value with the decimal point. So here in this case we are passing a string, and again it is converting that string. Here although it is a number, but it is enclosed in quotes, single quotes, this one, so that is why it became string. So simply we are converting this string to float using the float method. str again converts an object to a string representation. So here this is integer, and we are using str method to convert this integer to string. So whenever something is converted to string, it is enclosed within single quotes or double quotes, mostly in single quotes. So in this case we are taking the floating value and we are converting this floating value to string, that is again enclosed in single quotes as an output. List function converts an iterable object to a list. So now here worth noting is this will convert an iterable object. So make sure whatever you're passing as an argument within the list function should be an iterable object, right? So here it converts an iterable object to a list. So here string is iterable object. So this is converted to list, right? So this is output. Right. So in this case, in the second case, we are passing tuple. Tuple will be converted to list using the list function, right? So here tuple function, this converts an iterable object to tuple. So tuple is again a method that takes iterable object as an argument, right? So here tuple is taking hello and it's converting it to tuple. This is string that we are passing here as an argument to this function tuple, and it is converting it to string. So here we are passing this list as an argument, and this list is converted to tuple using the function. Set converts an iterable object to set. So now here again we are passing iterable object string first. So make sure this string is converted to set, and set is basically having every element within the curly braces. Like tuple is having parenthesis, list is having square brackets, and set is having curly braces like this. And in set, no duplicate elements will be entertained. So once at L is there, it is not coming twice, as it is coming twice in hello. In this word, L is coming twice, but in set, no duplicate values. And these are not in ordered. These are not ordered actually, right? Okay, so set, we are converting this list to set. So again, no duplicate values, and it is enclosed in curly braces. Dict. So dictionary is again having curly braces, but here the sequence is a key value pair. So now anything will be converted like dict, this method converts a sequence of key value pairs to a dictionary. So the incoming value should be a key value pair. I mean, two values should be there. So that is why this way it will be able to convert those values, value pair to key value pair, right? So dictionary is having a key value pair set that is enclosed within curly braces, right? So see, here we are passing a list that contains three tuples. First tuple contain a comma 1, b comma 2, c comma 3. First tuple, second tuple and third tuple that are enclosed within square brackets mean this is a list that we are passing as an argument to this function, and as a result of this, now as an output we got a colon 1 comma b colon 2 comma c colon 3. So about dictionary, tuple, list we have done, right? So tuple, set, dictionary and many more we are going to cover in detail in upcoming videos, don't worry. Right, so just now for now we need to note down dictionary has a structure like this: a key, colon and value. So in this case iterable object will work, but iterable object should have a key value thing, right? So that we can create this kind of data structure to dictionary. So now, dict, this is a function, and within the parenthesis of this function we are passing a equals 1, b equals 2, c equals 3. So in this case when we use this dict function, dictionary function here, what we are getting is a colon 1, b colon 2, c colon 3 in this case as well. So len function. Len function returns the length of an iterable. So here again we are passing list and it counts how many elements are there. So in this case 5 elements are there, that is why it is printing 5. So len ABC, it counts number of alphabets in the second case. So it is returning 3. Sorted. Sorted is a method that returns a sorted list of all elements in an iterable. So now we have used sorted method here. Within the parenthesis we are passing an iterable, that is a list, right? So list is actually this is sorted, but it is in decreasing order. This sorted function by default will convert the decreasing order value to increasing order, right? So in the second case we can see x, y, z is an output to the input of z, x and y, right? Z, x and y is not sorted and x, y, z is sorted in this case. It can also sort alphabets, right? Reversed. It returns a reversed iterator. So now here you can see we are using two functions. First of all, we are using reversed function to convert this iterable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is reversed. It became 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then this result should be converted to list again. After reversing the order of something, we will have to convert the result to list itself, to list again. That is why we are using list function again with reversed. So again see, reversed function, here we are passing ABC and ABC should be converted to list after we reverse it. It became CBA and it is converted to list. So enumerated function. It returns an enumerated iterator. Here you can see enumerate. This function is taking a list as an argument, and now you can see here returns an enumerated it returns an enumerated iterator. So now you can see here this is iterable list. Now what we are doing is we are converting an list to, I'm converting this list to enumerated iterator. So it is specifying index 0's value 1, index 1 value 2, index 2's value is 3, index 3's value is 4, index 4 value is 5. So basically it is returning a tuple, right? Basically it is converting the list with index and element, index and element. And finally we'll have to convert the resulting output to list. That is why here we are using the method list outside it, right? So again in this case we are using ABC, we are using this ABC string, and we are using here enumerate method outside of it. So now you can see in this string is at index 0, B is at index 1, C is at index 2. So that is why we got this tuple 0, comma A, 1, comma B, 2, comma C. So 0, 1 and 2 are indices in this string of this string, right? So enumerate method is basically converting it to enumerated iterator, and list function outside of it is converting this output to list itself.
Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon. We are so thankful that you are supporting us.